they were famous. At first, Dua used to look up to Rita, but then she got tired of being compared to her. Their feud was made clear at the 2019 Met Gala, where both Dua and Rita were in attendance. A source close to Rita told The Sun that the women had to avoid each other, saying, quote, "Rita is desperate to avoid confrontation and went out of her way to make sure they didn't come face to face." The feud between them started way before Dua Lipa was famous. Since they grew up knowing each other, Dua reached out to Rita's sister, Rita Ora, for help with her career when she was just starting out. Apparently, Alina refused to help, and Dua felt it was because she did not want Dua to become a bigger star than her sister Rita, which definitely did end up happening. The feud continued when Rita Ora was replaced by Dua Lipa in an Adidas campaign. Rita tried to mend things when she tagged Dua in a post she made about putting Kosovo on the map. Rita tagged many famous celebrities who were from Kosovo for support. Every other celebrity tagged, commented, and shared this post, other than Dua.
Kris Jenner. Believe it or not, the Kardashian clan used to be super close to the Smith family, particularly because Kris's kids got along super well with Jada and Will's kids. In fact, Kendall and Jaden are still super close, but we never see the adults hanging out anymore. It's very likely that their friendship didn't survive the whole famous Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson, Jordan Woods love triangle in 2019. After Jordan was exposed for making out with Khloe's ex Tristan, Jada decided to have Jordan on her talk show, Red Table Talk, to reveal her side of the story. The interview featured a ton of sympathy for Jordan as she said her piece about what went down. Jada and Will have known Jordan since she was born because her father worked on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Apparently, after the allegations came to light, Jordan came to Jada asking for help. Quote, "I just wanted her to have a platform to tell her story. That's it. She's a young, beautiful woman inside and out, and me having been a young girl, we sometimes get into situations that we don't necessarily know how to handle." It's likely that all this sympathy towards Jordan led the Kardashian matriarch to cut ties with Jada, as they were never seen getting close after the incident. Promptly after the interview, the Jenners and the Kardashians all unfollowed Jada and Will on Instagram and vice versa. That being said, they still let their kids hang out, as Jaden was spotted at Kendall's infamous controversial 2020 birthday bash.
And at number 7, Taylor Swift. So we've talked a lot about the feud between Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively that started on the set of A Simple Favor. Little known fact is that this alleged feud started because of Taylor Swift. Taylor and Blake are good friends. Taylor even used Blake's children's names in a few of her songs. So Blake didn't like it when Anna would trash Taylor on set. On September 1st of 2017, the Star published an article claiming that Kendrick was, quote, "always ribbing Lively for being a part of Swift's Girl Squad." This anonymous source maintained that, quote, "Blake didn't appreciate the constant questions or Anna's tone about the whole thing. Lively brought up how much she hated the comments, but Kendrick refused to stop for some reason." The insider claimed there was little hope the tension would be resolved, adding, quote, "It's going to be a long shot if Anna doesn't tone down the Taylor talk." And at number 6, McAfee. This is definitely a strange one, but Anna Kendrick was rated the #1 most dangerous person to search for online in 2020 by security company McAfee. This study is done every year to let customers know the best way they can protect their data online. They researched which famous names generate the riskiest search results that could potentially trigger consumers to unknowingly install malware on their devices. She was number 4 in 2019, but was bumped up to number 1 in 2020. The study assumed it was because of her role in Trolls World Tour. Even though her roles are pretty tame, the security agency concluded that searching for her name generated the most harmful links. Following Kendrick, the next most dangerous names are Sean Combs or P. Diddy, Blake Lively, and Mariah Carey. And at number 7, Calvin Harris. Calvin Harris may have exposed what a diva that Dua Lipa really is. At the time of the 2019 Brit Awards, Dua was in her prime and got tons of nominations for the show. But after the show, the Daily Mail reported that insiders claimed that she was a total diva at the award show. The Sun reported that Lipa was reportedly, quote, furious after being given a dressing room close to the other guests who were eager to talk to her. Apparently, her dressing room was right beside the beauty spa, so tons of people were around this area before the show. However, the singer made it clear that she didn't want to be there after other guests kept coming in to say hi and wish her good luck. Because everyone kept coming to talk to her, she reportedly slammed her door shut and took her name tag off her door so people would stop bothering her. What made things even worse was that Calvin Harris was situated pretty close to her, and his dressing room was somewhat of a party. He let people in and was welcome to anyone who wanted to celebrate, making her look even worse. Halfway, number 5, Barack Obama. Anna Kendrick found herself in a very strange situation when she ended up insulting the president and even called him an a-hole right to his face. Let me explain. Anna was on Stephen Colbert and explained the story behind how she met Barack Obama and made him double over with laughter during their meeting. During the conversation, Anna says that she was invited to a presidential event and showed up very early. Then during Obama's speech, he pointed her out and praised her for the movie Up in the Air. Afterward, when the two had a minute to chat, the president said he hoped that she hadn't felt singled out by him mentioning her movie, saying, quote, "I hope I didn't embarrass you earlier." Kendrick then responded, quote, "Yeah, you're such an a-hole." Then she mentioned how she was the first to arrive and that she was very punctual, being from Maine. When Obama asked her if this was a thing, she replied, quote, "You didn't know that? You're the president." That entire interaction made the president double over with laughter, but it might have just been awkwardness.
Next up is Olivia Jade. While there's no overt animosity between Jada and Olivia Jade, there was definitely some very public discussion of having her on the Red Table talk show. After the college admissions scandal that put Olivia Jade's mother, Lori Loughlin, in jail for attempting to cheat her daughter's way into college, Olivia Jade attempted to go onto Red Table Talk to set records straight. She went onto the talk show in 2020, and Jada's co-host, her own mother, was extremely public about her distaste for Olivia's appearance. Jada's mom stated, quote, "I fought it tooth and nail. I just found it really ironic that she chose 3 black women to reach out to for her redemption story. I feel like here we are, a white woman coming to a black woman for support when we don't get the same from them. It's bothersome to me on so many levels. Her being here is the epitome of white privilege to me. And honestly, it's hard not to see her point." The whole time Olivia Jade was on the show, she just kept talking about, "Oh, poor me. I didn't realize how privileged I am, blah blah blah." And Jada's mom let her have it. She told Olivia straight to her face, quote, "There is so much violent dehumanization that the black community has to go through on a daily basis, right? There's so much devastation, particularly this year, 2020, and everything being brought to the table. There is so much inequality and inequity that when you come to the table with something like this, it's like, child, please. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted with everything we have to deal with as a community, and I just don't have the energy to put into the fact that you lost your endorsements and you're not in school right now." Whoa, I can't even imagine that going over super well on the friendship mark, especially considering this public blasting was broadcasted all over.
And at number 3, Twilight execs. One of Anna Kendrick's breakout roles was the side character in the movie Twilight, and a very shady incident happened that the rumor mill has blamed on Kendrick. Before the second Twilight movie came out, called New Moon, a salon owner found a script to the upcoming movie in the trash outside her salon. The first question that was asked was, who would have thrown out a script as precious and top secret as this? And does this mean they didn't like the movie? It was exposed that the script was found outside of a hotel near St. Louis, where George Clooney and a bunch of other actors filming the movie Up in the Air were staying. Guess who was also filming that movie and also filmed Twilight? None other than Anna Kendrick. Nobody is sure why she did it, but everyone can agree it was not a good look. She's also trashed the movie during interviews, saying that filming the movie was like going through a trauma event. I'm sure her bosses didn't like her speaking of their movie that way. And at number 2, Rebel Wilson. Another massive franchise Kendrick was a part of was the Pitch Perfect series, but apparently a feud put a halt on the 3rd movie. A clash between Anna Kendrick, Rebel Wilson, and Elizabeth Banks reportedly is the reason the movie was pushed back. Then Banks decided to end her role as director. According to insiders, Anna and Rebel have been at the center of drama. Apparently Rebel was really mean to Kendrick during filming, and it made production very difficult. The source added, quote, "Rebel pretends to be this really laid-back funny girl, but in real life she's not like that at all. She can be really mean. And she was mean to Anna too. Rebel just couldn't hide her feelings, and she was nasty to Anna. Everyone knows about it, but no one does anything." Another source said that Kendrick was the reason that Banks quit her job directing. Apparently Kendrick wanted Banks out, and she got her way in the end. The source said, quote, "Anna hates Elizabeth. That's why she left Pitch Perfect 3. The tension between them has been growing, and it just reached a point where they couldn't deal with it anymore." And finally, number 1, Ben Richardson. Kendrick recently announced that she had been dating fellow A-lister and comedian Bill Hader for the last year. But before him, she dated musician Ben Richardson for 6 years. However, most people don't know this because she kept their relationship so secret. It was to a point where we think Richardson could have been resentful of their private relationship. Since Kendrick has starred alongside huge A-listers like Ryan Reynolds and Justin Timberlake, it's often rumored that her and these co-stars are more than friends, although she's never been officially accused of cheating. but often when speaking about cheating, the focus is on the relationships of the men that have wives, not the fact that Kendrick is unlikely to cheat because she's in her own relationship. We assume that's the case because nobody knows about her relationship. I'm sure that Richardson was sick of seeing the tabloids talk about Kendrick and never mentioned that she was taken. In at number 6, James Charles. Dua Lipa and James Charles have a long history of feuding, with multiple shady tweets back and forth between the celebrities. It all started in 2019 when Dua attended the American Music Awards. Pictures of Dua at the event were then posted to Twitter, which is completely normal. But things got shady when James chimed in and replied to the photo saying, quote, "I thought this was me." Even though this wasn't the first time the pair had been compared in the past, fans immediately went on the attack. Some replies read, quote, "The audacity," with another adding, "Delete this tweet immediately." Even though Dua herself did not do anything, we can assume James was not happy with that whole situation and blames Dua's fans for this response. Having number 5, Article Sound System. One of Lipa's biggest hits is her song Levitating off her Future Nostalgia album. But just weeks ago, a small indie band called Article Sound System sued Lipa, stating that she stole their song to make Levitating. The song they believe she ripped off is their 2017 track, Live Your Life. The band claims that they have been touring since 2010, with that song being a staple in their onstage performance since 2017. In the suit, the band claims that Dua and her collaborators, quote, "listened to and copied Live Your Life before and during the time when they were writing Levitating." The band did not give any specific proof that they heard the song before making Levitating, but they believe the songs are way too similar for it to just be a coincidence. At first, everyone thought that this was just a simple money grab and the band was doing this to become more relevant. But after the songs were compared side by side, it's hard to ignore the glaring similarities. As of now, Dua nor her legal team has made any statements on this matter, but it seems they will be leaving their comments for court.
Next up is Tom Segura. While this may be more towards Will Smith, Tom Segura has held absolutely nothing back when torching the Smith family online for the Oscars slap incident. Obviously, a lot of celebrities are ticked off at Will Smith right now, but Tom definitely brought his distaste for Jada into this rant. In a series of tweets, he said, quote, "Let me tell you this, man. The idea that you're entitled thinks because your feelings are hurt, you get to one of the all-time greats because you feel, and then the cowards, the spineless cowards that are in Hollywood and comedy. We have all the lists of the guys. It's insane. It's like a gross exaggeration. You see it all the time. I mean, you see entitlement everywhere, and that was on full display for the world to see. I have zero respect for that, and I feel like more people need to come out and say it. It's unacceptable. Damn. Tom, tell us how you really feel." That being said, it's unclear if the in question is Will or Jada. It could be either or both in this situation. Either way, I doubt Tom will be invited to any Smith family dinners in the near future. Next up is August Alsina. While I think maybe this one is a bit of a stretch because it's hard to hate someone who's actively keeping you relevant, I do think that August Alsina can't be happy with how his name has been dragged through the mud with this weird open marriage thing that he was involved with. He claimed to have dedicated years of his life to Jada after they had initially been introduced when Jaden brought him home as a friend. Although the two had their affair while Jada and Will were separated, it didn't stop the actor from writing an entire album called Entanglements about her. It has also just been announced that he's going to write a memoir about his time with Jada, which I am like 99% sure is to A, keep him relevant, and B, to drag Will and Jada's name through the ringer. Next up is Sheree Zampino. Sheree Zampino is the ex-wife of Will Smith, who he had one son with named Trey. Although this feud is largely over, Jada openly admitted to really disliking her husband's ex-wife, and the feeling was very mutual. When they began their relationship, Jada and Sheree hated each other. They had a lot of issues with their blended family, which basically meant them all co-parenting the kids that they all had with Will. Zampino recalls a moment when she had to speak to Will about their son Trey, but Jada picked up the phone. Quote, "You picked up the phone and I wasn't really respectful. You basically let me know, I don't really appreciate your tone, and I was like, it doesn't matter. And you hung up on me. I called back and I happened to say, bitch, you're living in the house that I picked out." The two then shared a laugh with one another, so I guess this one doesn't really count because they've definitely made amends with one another. Despite having an extremely rocky relationship to begin with, they seem to get over it for the sake of Will Smith and their kids.
And at number 4, Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel's husband Justin Timberlake is on thin ice and their relationship is struggling because of constant rumors that he is cheating. Things were at a breaking point in 2019 when he was caught holding hands with Palmer co-star Alicia Wainwright during a night out in New Orleans. Timberlake confirmed he never cheated on his wife but did apologize for the inappropriate move. According to Life and Style, Beal is now keeping her husband, quote, on a very short leash when it comes to how much time he spends with other female co-stars, specifically Anna Kendrick, who was his co-star on his following movie. An alleged insider told the magazine that Beal doesn't want him out late or partying with Kendrick during their promo tour, and she's even given him a curfew. The source continued that if anything were to happen with Kendrick, their marriage would be over for good.
Okay, this next one is just for laughs, but Will Smith. I mean, God, they must have had an extremely hard time within their marriage because Jada, for better or for worse, constantly lays it out on the table. She airs her dirty laundry with Will genuinely constantly, and a lot of fans think that the Men in Black actor is so stricken with Jada that he won't see just how inappropriate her behavior is. For example, always on her talk show, Jada insinuated that Will doesn't know how to please her in bed when she was discussing intimacy with Gwyneth Paltrow. Also openly admitted to cheating on Will, and she had an extremely intimate relationship with Tupac Shakur despite her claiming never to have dated him. I can't imagine all that going over super well, especially when we, as the ever watchful public, know all of these things. I think it would be a much easier pill to swallow if the entire internet weren't calling Will a but here we are. And now that the Oscars slap thing happened because Will was defending Jada's hair loss, it really does feel like a house that's so full of pretension and privilege that I think people have just kind of largely given up on the couple.
And at number 9, Blake Lively. Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick starred in the hit movie A Simple Favor together. So not only did they spend tons of time working together, they also had to be on the press tour with one another. Apparently that was a big issue for the women because they hated each other while filming the movie. And it was so bad that the studio executives had to get involved and mediate the tension between the women. In a TikTok, the page Celebrity Memoir Book Club claimed that when filming wrapped on the movie, Lively and Kendrick were not speaking, adding, quote, they were basically enemies and their press tours had to be booked separately. The user said they were not sure which actress was the one that started this feud because both women had been a part of feuds with their co-stars. The page even shared a private DM they received showing a studio executive at Lionsgate confirming basically everything the previous post said. This DM read, quote, they hated each other. The studio even had to have a talk with them about making it look like they liked each other on press tours because it was starting to get obvious. Anna in particular was really competitive with Blake and was constantly asking to make sure she got more promotion than Blake, and even made us Photoshop her cleavage in The Simple Favor to be as big or bigger than Blake's. So from this comment, it seems that Anna Kendrick might be the reason for this feud. To prove their dislike for one another, during a press interview the women were speaking about Instagram and blocking. Anna Kendrick revealed that she once blocked Blake on Instagram. Then later she said she decided to mute her instead once that became an option. That whole interaction seemed a little too real to believe it was all playful banter. In at number 8, Ryan Reynolds. Since Anna is feuding with his wife Blake Lively, it makes sense that Ryan Reynolds would take his wife's side in this beef. Before this feud, Kendrick and Reynolds looked to be pretty friendly, co-starring in the movie The Voices together. Kendrick even brought up the past friendship in one of her digs towards Blake. In one interview, Anna Kendrick mentioned the fact that she worked with Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively's husband, and she says that she once thought that Blake was nice, but doesn't now. It seems like a joke at first, but obviously could hint the tension going on behind the scenes. Blake then jokingly goes to touch her, then Anna sharply responds, "Don't touch me." Very strange behavior for co-stars and even more proof of a feud. In at number 8, Taylor Swift. We all know that Taylor Swift and Kanye West despise each other and have been in a long and heated feud since Kanye stole the mic from her in 2009. So how is Dua Lipa involved? Fans thought that Dua was a Taylor fan when she was pictured wearing some of Taylor's merch while doing a sound check. Taylor also took this to mean that Dua was a fan and commented on this post, writing, quote, "I'm screeching with joy." However, the love affair did not last long between Dua and Taylor, because Dua later chose Kanye over Taylor when she was playing a game in an interview. The question was simply to choose Taylor or Kanye, and because Dua prefers Kanye's music, she chose him. Instantly, Taylor's fans were up in arms, claiming that Dua took Kanye's side in their beef. Dua cleared it up on an episode of Watch What Happens Live when she said, quote, "I wasn't thinking about their beef, I was thinking about their music, and Taylor is amazing, but I'm such a hip-hop fan that I would probably choose Kanye over anyone." In at number 9, Baby Rexha. Baby Rexha is in the middle of Rita Ora and Dua Lipa's feud, and she thinks the feud will most likely never end. She's always tried to keep the peace between the women, and she's even pushed hard for a collaboration with all of them, but it seems that Dua is standing in the way of this. While speaking to The Sun, she said about their dynamic, quote, "I have really tried. I don't know what's really going on there or what the drama is. I've tried to always be the peacekeeper and bring the girls together." Rexa later walked back her comments and blamed the competitive nature of the music industry on their feud, saying, quote, "It's weird because I know how it is to be a girl and sometimes we can get really competitive. And I'm not even talking about me, Dua, Rita, and Ava, I'm just talking about females in general. What happens is there's not enough women at the table." Rexa added that because she believes the music charts are so male-dominated, it leaves women musicians with an unspoken competitiveness between them. These comments came after the 2019 Met Gala, where it was widely reported that Dua and Rita avoided each other. And at number 4, L. Russell Brown and Sandy Linzer. After the first lawsuit against Lipa started to gain traction, songwriters L. Russell Brown and Sandy Linzer filed their own lawsuit, claiming Levitating also stole from their song. They believe the song is a duplicate of the melody to their 1979 song Wiggle and Giggle All Night and their 1980 song Don Diablo. The lawsuit alleged, quote, "Defendants have levitated away plaintiffs' intellectual property. Plaintiffs bring suit so the defendants cannot wiggle out of their willful infringement." Their main argument is that in past interviews, Lipa admitted she deliberately emulated prior eras and took inspiration from historic music from the retro sound of the 2020 album Future Nostalgia. The suit also claimed that their song is featured in the most prominent part of the song that went viral on TikTok and led to the song's global success. Claim that without their influence on that portion of the song, it would not have went viral. Dua has not commented on the claims in this suit. And at number 3, celebrities against traveling. In 2020, the majority of the world was asked to stay inside and not travel. During this time, many celebrities took to social media to share what life was like for them while they were stuck at home. Dua Lipa was one of these celebrities, and when governments asked citizens not to leave, she came online and supported the decision, telling her fans to do the right thing and to not socialize or travel. But shortly after, she was called out for being a hypocrite. During this scary time, Dua was traveling all over the world without a care. She was also with her boyfriend Anwar and a group of her friends. Fans took to the comments to call her out for the hypocrisy, with many saying her words were empty and she clearly did not believe she should stay at home. One fan tweet about the situation said, quote, "Dua Lipa having the audacity to tell us to stay home when she's been in about 4 different continents." Dua did not respond back to the criticism and continued to travel despite it. And at number 2, Anwar Hadid. Dua and Anwar dated for 2 years before calling it quits on December 23rd of 2021, after rumors that their relationship was crumbling. Rumors started when gossip page Dumois posted a screenshot from inside claiming the couple were 100% broken up. Shortly after, the Sun confirmed these rumors. Their source claimed, quote, "Dua and Anwar are currently taking a break from their relationship and are spending time apart. They're figuring things out right now." According to The Sun, Dua and Anwar's relationship hit crisis mode due to their packed work schedules, so they decided to take some time apart. The source added, quote, "Their relationship is going through a crisis and appears to be on the rocks." Then weeks later, the breakup was confirmed by both celebrities. We know confirmation who made the decision to end the relationship, but many Dua fans believe she ended the relationship because of Anwar's overbearing family and strong controversial beliefs. And finally, number 1, Ed Sheeran. Dua Lipa offended some men in her industry when she stated that women are held to a higher standard when it comes to concerts. In an interview with British GQ, Dua Lipa stated that women have to be athletes as much as singers, but men are not held to the same standards of showmanship. "I remember going to a show by a male artist that actually doesn't do anything on stage, and they got this stellar 5-star review. But then you have women who get up on stage and they're practically doing cartwheels, costume changes, it's a spectacle, and then reviewers nitpick every little thing." Continuing that women are forced to do everything on stage to have an entertaining performance, while men only need to get up and sing. Even though Dua did not name any specific artists, many felt this could be a dig at Ed Sheeran, as his concerts get great reviews and he hardly does anything other than sing with his guitar. There's a chance he was offended by her comments. And at number 10, Tahira. After working as a stylist for Anna Kendrick, Tahira decided to make a TikTok exposing how terribly Kendrick treated her while they were working together. In the video, she rated the celebrities that she had worked with in the past, giving them a 1 to 10 rating. When she came to Kendrick, Tahira gave Anna Kendrick a rating of -100 out of 10 and called her a terrible person. The comments flooded asking her to give more details about the interaction, so she decided to make 2 more videos. In the first video, she said that in 2016, she was working as a stylist and her job was to put together some looks for one of Kendrick's book signings. Saying, quote, "She comes in, I'm walking her through the rack, she won't even speak to me. That's strike 1. I'm asking her, do you want to wear pants or do you want to wear a dress? She won't say anything. In the end, Kendrick just wore her own clothing. Then at the end of the event, it was part of Tahira's job to collect the gifts that Kendrick's fans left for her. After trying to give Kendrick this bag full of items, Kendrick told her to throw it all away, adding that she never even looks at the stuff. She described the whole interaction as a complete nightmare.